Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your April reading. I hope everybody is doing very well and look forward to seeing what information comes through this month for your sign. Just a reminder that, as always, this can be used for your sun sign, of course, but also for your rising and your moon signs if you know them. Now, I like to start every month with some channeled information, and I also want to talk about the retrograde cycle that we're getting into, and then I'll go straight into the card reading. So your channeled information, and I get this, by the way, when I select a card deck to look at and then meditate on your sign. But your channeled information is desire. And the note when I'm looking or thinking about this is to, one, see how your desires or your wants are affecting your emotional state and how that might flare up a little bit during retrograde. But really, the key message with desire was to use it as motivation. So basically, when you look at what you want to do in life, what is really making you inspired, and sort of like that carrot at the end of a stick that keeps you going and keeps you moving, I want you to use your desires to help you get through the rough patches and to help others as well. Like if you can see what they want in their life, remind them, hey, this is why you're doing it. It's not just to torture yourself. It's actually because you have expressed a desire to do such and such in your life. So basically, think about that and how it sort of shakes down for you, and then I think it's going to make sense as we look at the cards here. But one thing to mention again with desire is try not to let your wants get in the way of some of what you need to do, and also understanding that it's good to have things that we don't, or good to want things that we're going to have to work to get, because that gives you something to work towards. I think every person in life, whether you're a spiritual leader, whether you're just trying to get from paycheck to paycheck, there's always something that you want, and that's what makes it worthwhile. So having everything doesn't actually make you happy. Enjoying sort of getting there, that can make you happier. And I guess that's the message with desire. Part of it is, wow, it's great to have this goal, and then eventually when you get it, it's all the sweeter because you know how hard you work to get it. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go ahead now and shuffle the deck of cards. And for those of you that are brand new, just giving you a heads up on how I put together this reading. Right now I'll be pulling the Celtic Cross, and then after this I expand it to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. That way you have, well, I'm going to leave both here. We got two in the past. That way you have a chance to see everything that's going on in your life, and really get a good feel for the energy of this month. All right, so one more card here that I like to use. It's sort of unique to my style, which is a Catalyst card. This Oracle card really is sort of the connecting web that sets the tone for everything else that you're looking at. So for you this month, it's the wheel. The wheel is reversed. This wheel card is very much sort of like a reimagination of the Wheel of Fortune, but also with this, there's a lot of work associated with it. You don't see money with this. It's about a process. For you, the process seems to be slowing down or working against you. And so we're going to look at how you can either change your perception, because a lot of times when we see something like this, it's not necessarily that the world is not working in our favor. It's that an adjustment needs to be made. Either we're pushing down the wrong path or a path that is more difficult, and there might be something that's more satisfactory, or we need to have more patience because cosmic timing is in effect or in place, and pushing doesn't work. Sometimes the universe will say, sorry, this is happening in a month. Or we have free will and we can choose other ways, but there's something this month that's causing a little bit of friction for you. And so if it is pushing down a path that won't work, look at your alternatives, or look at if the timing is actually better in the future, okay? So as we look at the cards as they're laid out here, the center card pretty much says it all. Beautiful Phoenix song. It's interesting, this morning I was listening to, right before your session, a song that was called, Phoenix was in the title of it. Phoenix Burn, it's an old song. But anyway, the tower here. What I like with this tower is it's not a destructive one. You'll see that, first of all, I don't think, for whatever the goals that you have this month, or whatever you feel like is not working in your favor, It's because the timing is off, and also with this, I feel like there's another opportunity in the horizon for you. There is not just one path for you. And the very cool thing about this is the falling apart of whatever you thought the first thing was is actually also a portal. I'm going to pull this really close. You can see that there's a beautiful phoenix, and then there's a tower, but the tower also becomes a door, and there's also a door within the tower. But when you look at it from far, like this distance, it just looks like there's a door, but it's actually the tower outline, and then there's a door underneath it. So message on this card is you're not failing and things are not going wrong. This is like a portal into the next opportunity. The failure or the sort of falling apart of the moment is a portal into another opportunity. This card was crossed by the Four of Cups, which is aptly named here, appropriately named emotion, because Four of Cups is about not just emotion, but the perception and how you allow that perception to color your emotions. Usually with Four of Cups, you see one cup floating in the air, three in front of the person, and they're kind of like this. And I can relate with that, with the energy of retrograde and what's going on. I understand what that means. But what this is saying is, this is all about doors and gates. You can see this. Step through it, push through it, move through it. Don't hold on to the feeling that you have at the moment. That's the key. The moment you let go is the moment you'll walk through, and this discomfort and pain will go away. When I look at what's sort of motivating and coloring this experience for you at the moment, we have it's money and achievement, because in the past you got two cards that stuck together, so I'm going to read them both. The order doesn't matter so much. We have one showing Three of Pentacles. You've done great work, great project, or you're in a place where something, maybe you've been studying to graduate and you're like months away from that, or I mentioned retirement earlier. Maybe you're, a year or two away from retirement. Whatever it is, there's something in your life that's, you can just almost taste it. It's not happening. King of Pentacles in reverse is saying you're sort of feeling like you're the only one that understands what's happening and what's coming next. So don't hold on to that too much, and try to open up your mind, your heart, and your activities to focus on other things. It's saying don't be so focused on this, because it just slows the wheel down even more. Money situations are a place of fear for you this month. Money, accomplishment, and wealth, because we basically got just about everything but the Queen. So I got like a page, a king, and a knight, all reversed. The king in the past, the knight in the sort of almost present, and then your ego right now showing the page. So we've got just about everything when I'm looking at the court cards for money, for achievement. So it's saying don't doubt yourself, and also for some of you, there may be a lot of people weighing in on you, because when I see a lot of people, and again, almost every court card on one particular element or sign, ground yourself a little bit more if you can. And by grounding yourself, that's through meditation, it's through taking a walk, it's through spending some time with friends and family that are giving and understanding. You need other perspectives in your life. For some of you, that also might be a counselor. I'm going to turn this down so you can see where these cards are. What I see here in your environment, so again, within reach but not quite there, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So there's a lot of focus on success, money, and financial improvement, because we have Seven of Pentacles here in the near future. But that's a good sign here, because it's showing me that you're going to achieve that which you seek. But for some of you, it can be in the distant future. So this month is about moving through the blocks, healing yourself when it comes to any sort of cycles that you need. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune at the top here, which is basically the same as the Catalyst card that I pulled. So the Wheel of Fortune is showing that, I feel like it's 2017 for you, but 2017 and April as well, it's a time of shifting and changing, and big moves are on the horizon. But we are getting a lot of confirmation that for some of you that starts in July, or for some of you that may take all the way until November or December, because we have a 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so it's around the end of the year, or for some of you, since we're doing this generally speaking, it can also be around June, July. But patience is the key thing right now. So what we have here, it's really almost completely Pentacles for you this month. We have 9 of Pentacles in reverse, showing me you've done a lot of work to get where you're at. So whether it's improving your health, or you're working on a big project, or you're really focusing on relationships, whatever you want to do, you're going to see a yield, a return on this energy that you've put out there. This is where you kind of are at the moment, but I actually see you headed towards the 9 of Pentacles. So keep it up. I see improvement. With the 7 of Swords here in your outcome card, reversed by the way, with the 7 of Swords reversed, 2 things are coming to mind. One, to try to weather the storm. And the other thing is, you may have had another thing pop up during retrograde that was basically a test of your ability to create boundaries or respect boundaries. So for some of you, maybe in 2016, 2015, 2014 even, there were issues with boundaries. This is the year that you are comfortable in saying no, or that doesn't work for me, or that never worked for me. And your success is going to come in cutting your losses. For me, 7 of Swords typically indicates a choice, and a choice where you can either go back into the fire or you can walk away. And you can walk away with what might feel like a loss, but there's a lot of opportunities too. So I'm encouraging you to walk away from something that might have come through or might be presenting itself in retrograde. We talked about some of those things. It's going to be different for every Libra. It might be, it could have to do with money, it could have to do with health, it could have to do with your hopes and dreams. But if something there is causing you a lot of pain, this month is saying, hey, you've learned what you needed to, move through it. So I do want to let you know that if you're going to get the Tower, it's actually okay to have it in the middle or in the past or here, because it's showing me that you're already moving through it. So opportunity is what this is about. You're losing something, a perceived loss, so that you can step through this portal here and get this. So I really love this illustration of the Tower. So don't be afraid, focus on the opportunity, and let's look at health, wealth, love, and destiny now to see how this is going to affect other parts of your life. Okay, that wasn't successful. Hold on. There we go. All right, so for your health card this month, Blossom. Growth is the result of whatever the loss is. It's also very similar to the Wheel of Fortune and illustration. So I would say focus for your health. This is about mental health this month and feeling better. So I want you to do activities that make you feel comfortable, confident, and that are expansive for you. So if you are looking to change your exercise or exercise routine, I would say I'm getting the feeling that dance would be very good. Dance and movement. If you don't like to dance, then it's something like hiking, running, but it's not necessarily going to a gym. It's getting outside in nature. You can do that in addition to the gym, but I feel like you need to get outside and have a connection with the elements, particularly the sun. So get more sunlight this month if you can, depending on your climate and your sort of physical constraints. But even just sort of getting outside and having 10 or 15 minutes of sunlight would change your whole day, I feel, and your whole health. The other thing with Blossom is anything that you're putting into your routine is going to really, you're going to see a great effect from that. So if you started at the beginning of the month, by the 20th or 30th, you're going to see a lot of changes and you're going to feel better. So consider changing up your physical routine. All right, so for your wealth card, we have education. This is about basically getting all the information you need to feel comfortable, confident, and basically secure in what you're doing with your finances. Same thing with jobs. If you're looking for jobs and you're not getting what you need, look and see sort of what they're trying to find in a candidate and adjust your letter or your resume accordingly. For those of you thinking of going back to school or starting school for the first time, this is also just a confirmation that you're on the right path. You can also do non-traditional sort of education, like just taking a certification or going to a community college or night classes. Basically anything that you want to do for knowledge expansion would be really good. All right, so for love and romance, let's see here. We have be supportive. Cards reversed. This is showing me that it's an activity you normally do for others. And I think actually for you, you may need to ask for the support. So don't be afraid to do that. I think Libras go above and beyond when it comes to supporting others, but sometimes have a hard time asking for what they need. So don't be afraid. And if you are feeling like you have more than enough to give, by all means, go ahead and be supportive, but don't be afraid to ask as well. And this one comes up a lot in readings, but your destiny card is basically two things coming out. It's the spiral dancer, but if you look very close, it says perception, and then I'm not going to even try. It looks like circuitous route, but what I would say, it's basically about going in circles and feeling like you're just kind of like spiraling down. But the truth is, if you ever, I talk about this sometimes in the monthly readings, but spiritual development, it's not like this. It's more like this. And then sometimes when you achieve something, you come down a little bit to integrate, and then you go back even further, then you come down a little bit, and then you go even further. So the spiral is not necessarily solely an upward or a down-facing spiral. It's you kind of travel up and down to learn what you need. So if you're not happy in the direction that you're going, be patient, keep moving and keep pushing towards your goal, because you're going to make the progress. Yes, the only other example I can think of is if you're on an incline and you're braking, whenever you're ready to go, you have to leave enough room in the back, because you have to go back a little when you let go of the brake to go back up, but you still go up the hill, but you just lose a little bit each time. So yeah, this is sort of like you're now braking and you're letting go of the brake, and you might slide a little bit, but you're then going to accelerate. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Sometimes I wait for an answer and I remember you're not there. All right, so let's review everything. Your desire is going to be very important this month as a motivational force. Also, you want to be aware of your desires so that you know that sometimes when you're getting frustrated, it is supposed to be something that you're working towards, and you will achieve what you're trying to work towards, because when I look at the past here, I have the Three of Pentacles, which is showing a lot of work, a lot of love, a lot of TLC, but it also shows some patience. The soonest that you guys are going to probably see some action in that area is about 3 months, which 4, 5, 6, 9, it's right. So June or July. So yeah, we're looking at about a 3-month pause for you, or a 3-month push towards the next plateau before you have to go up again. So just allow yourself to have that little bit of a up and down. All right, let's look at everything. The whole purpose of this month is to go through a portal, to have a little bit of things sort of like rearrange or fall apart, to try not to let your emotions get the best of you, to focus on the opportunity as you're getting feedback and a lot of information from other people, to focus on continuing to recover in the financial sector. So if you need to save money, please don't do any large purchases. I would say that even if it wasn't a retrograde, because for some of you, you've already made this big spend, but there was an unexpected expenditure for many of you, and it tapped you out. For others, it's about saving for the future, because we look at the Nine of Pentacles here, so that you can take care of yourself in the future. Walk away from whatever disappointment you might feel. Allow yourself to be sad, allow yourself to go through it, but eventually there's more opportunity. So you have a choice of either sitting in the disappointment or pushing through to the opportunity. That's really the big message this month. The other message is cosmic timing is in place, and that the wheel is not necessarily working as fast as you'd like, but it does work in your favor ultimately. We have a reversed wheel, and then we have an upright wheel. And that is why I read reversals, because you can see the shift in energy. We talked about getting outside, breathing fresh air, especially getting in sunlight. It's going to help you. Doing activities outside, also engaging in unique sort of physical activities like dance, or something with rapid movement would be very good for you, whether it's biking or running, whatever works with your body and your limitations. Get additional education when it's appropriate, when it comes to your finances. And for those of you pursuing higher education or deciding to go back and get your high school diploma or whatever it is, this is the time. It's a great time to return to school. Remember to not only be supportive, but to accept the support of others, or ask for the support of others. That's why it's reversed. With the spiral dancer, it's saying life doesn't move in a perfect line from A to Z. It's going to go all over the place. It zigzags, it spirals around. What's important is, generally speaking, are you headed sort of in the right direction? I think you are. But if you're not, then adjust accordingly and don't feel like little tiny setbacks are the end of the world. So that's everything for this month. There was a lot that came through, but I hope that it was helpful for you. And again, you have 2 really key months coming up, one around June or July, and one around November or December. It seems like 7's a very magical and important number for you right now. So either the 7th month of the year or 7 months in the future, this is when things will shift, and this is when your Wheel of Fortune will come through. Everything between now and then is about allowing the change to happen, maybe not pushing at it so hard that you block an opportunity, or that you don't realize why you're going through something. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it was also really enlightening for what you're going through, and that in regards to retrograde, the only thing that seems like it's a big struggle for you is finances, and then accomplishing what you want with work, with school, with life, with those big sort of like accomplishments. It's not so much your health. Looks like it can be in a pretty good place this month, especially if you invest in taking care of yourself. But it's finances and accomplishing your desires, your goals, that is the big challenge during retrograde. So embrace that and work through it. And remember, just like this beautiful Tower card, it's actually about rising from the ashes, not sitting in the ashes and thinking of what you've lost. Okay. If you'd ever like a one-on-one, please feel free to reach out. I'll embed a link here in the video, and you can feel free to schedule an appointment. That'll list my rates and my availability as well. If you found that this was helpful and you'd like to donate, that would be great, but it's completely optional. I'm also really active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so if you want to find out when the new videos are posted, which by the way is usually the 1st, not always like at midnight, it might be the end of the day on the 1st, but it's usually on the 1st. That's the best way for you to be informed. I'll send out an email, and of course it'll be posted to all of those sites the minute it's available. And subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. So finally, I like to end everything with gratitude. So thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and for being a part of this journey for the past few years as I've been reading cards. And take care of yourselves. The whole reason I do this is for self-empowerment, so that you can be confident, and so that you have the tools that you need to go after what you want in life. All right, much love, much success. It's coming. It's not coming immediately, but it's coming from what I can see. So see you soon. Bye-bye.